This is the plaintiff, Dawood Muhammad. He says the defendant, his ex-girlfriend, who he lived with, pocketed his portion of the rent he paid her, didn't give it to the landlord, and they were evicted. The defendant's a vindictive woman who had him arrested, stole his belongings, and he's here in the name of justice seeking the $5,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Catherine Singleton. She says the plaintiff put his hands on her. She got an order of protection against him and he violated it. So he was thrown in jail. Now, he's just coming after her because he's mad at her. He still wants to be with her. And what he needs is to grow up and move on. Owe him money? She thinks not. She's accused of running away with the rent. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for stolen belongings and pain and suffering.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says his ex-girlfriend stole his portion of the rent. And by the way, she's a bad person. The defendant says the plaintiff roughed her up and even went to jail. And this is revenge. It's the case of hands off.
Thank you, Douglas. Dawood Muhammad, you are suing Catherine Singleton, your former girlfriend, for $5,000 that you say she owes you in different items that she refuses to give back to you. You are counterclaiming against him $5,000 for the same plus pain and suffering. What happened? How long were you seeing each other?
8 years.
How long were you living together of those 8 years?
A year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. So were you paying rent?
A portion of it.
All right. Your name is the only one on the lease, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you were paying her how much?
$300 a month.
And what was the total rent?
My total rent was $655.
Okay. And what ended up happening? You found out that what?
She got eviction notice.
An eviction notice.
Get out in 10 days.
Because according to the eviction notice, she hadn't paid rent since when?
Since she been having to pay rent in like 6-7 months.
Okay. And so I take it that the $300 you were paying her throughout that time, she wasn't paying the landlord.
Exactly.
Okay. But you were living there.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and you got that, you received that notice when, in November?
Yeah.
So what happened when you got it?
I confronted her about like, what do you been doing with my money? And she was acting like nonchalant. So she said she gonna go to court and take care of it.
Why haven't you been paying the rent?
Because I have other bills. So I've made an agreement with my...
That's one of your bills.
Yeah, that's one of the bills.
Right,
But I've made
so-
an agreement with my landlord where I can pay partial. So...
Wait, before he tried to evict you or after?
That was after.
Yeah.
After.
So
yeah.
you were paying how much in rent? Just the amount he was giving you?
No, the money that he
Less
was
than
giving...
that?
We were in a relationship. So he was giving me money for household items. It wasn't
Do you
necessarily...
have any proof that you systemically, that means every single month, gave her $300?
My bank statements. Direct deposit to her account.
He is also complaining, and he's filed a lawsuit against you because, according to him, you have kept his TVs, 2 TVs, an Xbox, $950 for a loan, and you owe him $1,000 in sneakers that you pawned. Let's talk about the loan. What are the circumstances involving the loan?
I don't know.
Okay, how about you tell me about the loan? Where is it that you loaned her $950?
Her sister got into a car accident.
And she was supposed to pay you back?
Yeah.
Did you remember this?
I don't remember.
All right. But he has a text message where he says to you, you have to repay that $950, and you say, great. And now that colors the rest of your testimony, I hate to tell you. But let's talk about the rest of the testimony. According to you, what did you leave behind, and why did you leave it behind? Because when you get mad at that day, when you find out about the rent, you guys end up breaking up, correct?
Okay. Saturday night, I confronted her about the situation. And then when I went to the gym Sunday night, she replaced my keys. So I'm like, I tried to get in, so I called the police, and it escalated, and I left.
Okay, you have a little bit of a different version of what happened that day. Go ahead.
The day after Thanksgiving, November 28th, I believe it was, we had an argument about disloyalty in the relationship.
Meaning?
Like that I was cheating on him.
Were you cheating on him?
No.
Okay.
We had an argument in the house. I went to turn around to continue to wash the dishes. He put his left arm around me and got a knife and put a knife to my throat. So that day,
Wait, what happened after when he put a knife to your throat?
When he
Tell me
put
about
the
what
knife to
happened.
my throat, he told me he would kill me. He would cut me. After that, he went in the room.
Okay, so and then what happened? He didn't cut you, right?
He didn't cut me. He didn't.
What were you
kill
doing
me.
while he put a knife to your throat?
I was crying and screaming. I'm shocked because in my relationship with him for so many years, I never feared for my life.
Do you have children together?
Yeah, no, we don't have any children together.
Okay, so then what happened?
So after that, he left the house. That same day, he came with the cops.
So he came with the police.
He came with the police trying to get back in. And I told the police I didn't want him here because I fear for my life and my children's life. I told the police officer said to me, go and get an order of protection so he does not come back to your home.
Okay, and did you?
And that's what I did. I went and got an order of protection against him.
And yet, despite that, according to you, you saw him outside your home again.
As me and my children left to go to school that morning, he was standing on the corner where my building is. So I'm afraid for me and my children. So I called the police. Because the order of protection was in process, they arrested him that day.
All right, so he got arrested for that.
Yes, he got arrested for that
What ended
day.
up happening with that case in court? Is it still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on.
All right, so he can no longer come over. How did he get his stuff out? Did he get his stuff out that night with the cops?
No, I had spoke to his father. I called his father, and his father came over to my home December 4th to pick up his things.
All right, now there's a series of electronics that he says are his. What say you to that?
During our relationship, we bought those things together.
Well, then why are they yours?
I paid him for them.
Do you have any proof of that?
I have a text message stating that I gave you 1,000 plus, and he says that it was only for a certain amount of things. But
Let me see those text messages. That's a 55-inch TV, a 32-inch TV, an Xbox, and software for the Xbox, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
sir.
right. You have here, one of the other things he's suing for is a blood pressure monitor. You ended up,
I have it.
you found it,
Yeah,
right?
I have
so
it.
you'll go home with that today. And then the last thing he's suing for is $1,040 of 4 pairs of Nike sneakers in green, copper, black, and seafoam blue. What are these sneakers? They're magical sneakers. Why are they $295?
I have the receipts for them.
No, but what are they? What's
Foamposites.
What are they called?
Foamposites.
Foamposites?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently it's an expensive thing.
And I've proof that she pawned the sneakers.
You have proof that she pawned
Yes,
the sneakers?
ma'am.
What's your proof that she pawned the sneakers?
These are my sneakers?
No, that's a picture of sneakers.
Okay.
What is the proof that she pawned the sneakers?
The pawn shop owner, because my uncles work there.
It's interesting. Do you this? Where is this? Do you have this in your actual phone?
yeah.
Can I see it? Because I like to see things in context, and it's like cut off basically. I want to know what happened before and after. Did she give you any money towards the PC Richards
No.
credit card?
No.
You didn't bring the statements here,
No.
right? What do you say you paid for the TVs?
I gave him $1,000 last year during tax time. And also during our relationship, I've paid him money.
Get to the text about the $1,000, and then I'll scroll up and down from there.
I'm hoping that's it. I kind of went across the screen.
Okay. Tell me about the jewelry that you're countersuing for.
About maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we went to Atlantic City to Tiffany's and he bought me some Tiffany's jewelry.
What are you counterclaiming him about? Okay, you have a picture. He has a picture
sent
that
me
he
a picture.
sends to you
Yes,
with the jewelry.
And my engagement ring. He put those things on my bed, took a picture of them, and sent it to me. So when I asked him about it, he told me that he pawned it.
Okay, there's a text from you on the day after the events in question that caused a breakup. So where are you going? This is from you to her, to have my 1050 or you not going to have it at all. What was that 1050 referring to?
Not 50 for the amount she borrowed and $100 because her daughter broke my tablet.
Then she answers you and says, you crossed the line when you pulled a knife out on me and choked me. I'm done with you. Please do not come back to my home again. If you do, I will gladly call the police on you. I will be happy to give you your things peacefully. Send your dad or someone else and I will give them to him, but do not show up at my home. My children and I don't feel safe around you. I'm scared for our lives. Please stop calling me. I hope you have a backup plan, you say to her, because since you're not paying me my $10.50, I'm coming for everything that I bought, and you'll be left with one TV and one laptop.
Exactly.
Did you steal her Tiffany jewelry?
I pawned it for the rent money.
You
And
pawned
only
it for the
gave-
rent
they only
money.
gave me
You
$200.
sent it in a text after she threw you out.
Yes.
You didn't take it for rent money. You left that day. You didn't pay rent money after this.
I had to find a place to live.
Oh, your own rent money.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you stole her jewelry for rent money, and you're looking at me saying, what? What? Yeah.
So if somebody holds a knife to your throat in anger and they swear to you They will never do it again. Would you give them a second chance?
Absolutely not. Second chance might be the end.
True enough. Would you ever give them a second chance? They are so remorseful and say, I was out of my head, I will never do it again.
No, I don't think so. No, I wouldn't.
Okay, and you're pretty young. Would you give them a second chance?
No?
Okay, that is the perfect answer. Just remember that, okay? That will hopefully never happen, but there you go. Going inside the courtroom.
You acknowledge that she paid you $1,000. She says $1,000 was to cover the TVs.
Old Navy and the TV that I bought her son.
Do you have an Old Navy bill of $1,000? I don't even know how much you'd have to buy Old Navy to rack up $1,000.
That
God
was
bless
for
Old
the
Navy.
son, Xbox, and the Old Navy bill.
But you're suing for the Xbox. What are you talking about?
Old Navy bill.
Did he pay for your children's clothes or whatever at Old Navy?
He bought some clothes for the children.
But that was
And-
not something you were supposed to pay him
No.
back for.
No, Judge, we've been in a relationship over 7.5 years.
Yeah, I know. What happened to his sneakers?
I have video of his father taking everything. His father
Do you have
took
video of his
everything
father
out.
taking the sneakers?
The sneakers that he's talking about is in a white box. His father's taking a white box out my
Can I see the
apartment.
video?
Yeah, my witness has it. When he came with the police, he was even allowed to look in the closets for his stuff.
When you came with the police, why didn't you take your sneakers?
She already sold them.
Your Honor, the sneakers
Stop
weren't.
talking.
Sorry.
So you're saying this white box of...
Yeah, he's stating that the sneakers that I sold were in different boxes. And it was a white box and a black box. His father's taking the boxes out.
This video shows your dad in the apartment taking stuff. All right, folks, give me a moment. Nobody talk.
I have.
No, what part of stop talking? Don't break it. What is that?
That's his DVD player, and also I have his Roku that he.
His what?
His Roku.
Fabulous. Hand him back. What about the blood pressure machine?
It's here.
Okay, good.
You can actually have the bag.
Okay, folks, here's what's going to happen. Mr. Muhammad, let me explain to you. Let's go down the road of the many things that you are suing for. You're suing for rent, and I've already explained to you you're not going to get rent because you pay rent to live there, and you lived there, okay? Number two TVs, the Xbox, and some software that you're suing for. Yes, it was on your credit card, but yes, you acknowledge that she paid you $1,000 towards those electronics. What makes sense to me is that you were both contributing to those electronics. So that means that it's half yours and half hers. Okay, they're gonna stay at her place, and what I'm gonna make her pay you is the depreciated value of your half of the electronics. Regarding the sneakers, you have zero proof on the sneakers. I'm sorry. You tell me you're gonna prove to me that she pawned it. Meanwhile, you have zero proof that she pawned it. She thinks you're just bringing her back to court because there's a restraining order and it's the only way you can see her again. I don't know if that's true or not true.
No, of course not.
I don't know that he wants anything to do with you either. But either way, you know, you have zero proof on the sneakers. The blood pressure machine is there. So what do we have? We have an amount of a loan that in a text you do admit that you owe him something for the loan. And then you have a counterclaim against him. And it's for several things. It's for the Tiffany necklace, which he did take. And then you have pain and suffering, which I assume is for having a knife pulled on your throat. We're done. When I tally up the thing I think she owes you, and I tally up what you owe her by taking the jewelry and by pulling a knife to her throat, it's a wash. Goodbye, folks. Go your own ways.
Thank you.
All right, so the plaintiff comes out here. You don't collect anything because it's offset by her countersuit. What's your reaction to this out?
I'm not mad though, but I'm saying she still owes me, so I'm done with it, okay?
She said you may have been suing her just to get a chance to see her.
No. I did mad things for her. I took on vacation.
You two have to work together on
No.
behalf of kids
Thank
at all?
God, thank God. Thank God.
Okay. All right. All right, so it's an offset. You don't collect, but neither does he. What's going through your mind now?
I'm happy that this chapter is closed in my life. I can move on, and he can move on too. I'm just happy that the judge saw it the way she did.
You think you've seen the end of him or heard the end of him?
I pray I have.
Over to Harvey.
Okay, if you are the victim of domestic violence, run to court. Don't walk, run and get a restraining order. What happens is, if the restraining order is violated, the person gets within 100 yards of you, they can automatically be arrested just for getting that close. It is a very effective way of preventing somebody from brutalizing you again.